Those 29 turnovers resulted in 42 Ole Miss points on Thursday. LSU coming off a hard-fought win over Vanderbilt last time out. That was Monday at the PMAC, 83-77. The 6-point margin was the largest lead of the game. The opening tap is won by LSU Samaya Smith, and we are underway here in Gainesville. And right away, LSU tries to attack on the inside. Mikaylah Williams knocks down the three. This is not an LSU team that relies on the three-point shot, but Mikaylah Williams will take them and make them.
Yeah, shooting 28% as LSU in conference play so far, making just three. Florida's going to go under. If LSU makes threes, so be it.
Turnover on the first trip for Florida, ends up in the basket on the other end from Johnson for LSU.
What I say to start the program, they thrive in transition, does LSU. You cannot have live ball turnovers. Throw the thing out of bounds if you have to.
McGill to Layla Reynolds. Reynolds has been playing some at the point to move McGill off the ball, but Reynolds can still score, but not this time. Shea Kyle got a hand in there, and here comes Mikaylah Williams back the other way. Cheyenne Day Wilson in the starting five. A great feed and a finish. And what a start here in Gainesville. And an early timeout for Florida. 61 seconds into the game, and LSU's on top, 7-zip. So Kelly Rae Finley takes an early timeout here to try to settle down her young Florida team. Here's Jariah Warren, senior leader. Three-pointer on the way from Warren, and a good response by Florida out of the top. LSU outstanding offensive team, and you can see sharing the ball well here early, but forcing a turnover is Florida. Here's Reynolds up to McGill. Knocked away on the drive by Dizeko. 13 to shoot here for the Gators. There's Kelly Rae Finley. What are some of the things that Florida needs to do going forward here against LSU?
Well, she was very clear with her kids this morning. We have got to stay together and connected. We can't break off and do our own things when things start going sideways. And she made a great point. In this league, you have one possession to fix the problem. If you don't, you're going to get an 8-9-0 run put on you quickly.
Good job by Warren to keep it alive. No reset on the shot clock, though. McGill with 5. McGill with 3, rolling to the basket just into the game. All right, obviously there was more from the cut down the nets collection in Kim's wardrobe. You know, she had the kind of the dangling nets recently, so this is a little similar to that look.
I woke up this morning thinking, what are the odds that Coach Mulkey and I are dressed the same on game day? It was a very, 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 very low percentage.
You're telling me there was a chance, though?
There was a chance, but it was a very low percentage. 5,000 plus probably.
The lower bowl is full, and the second level is filling in, and they're still coming in here, and that's been the LSU effect ever since Kim Mulkey took over. Flau'Jae Johnson, no. Williams to the hands of Samaya Smith, and a turnover.
The anticipation waiting on her to come out of that tunnel was special.
Good feed, and we are tied at 7. On Monday, Morrow, Johnson, and Williams combined for 68 of the 83 LSU points. You know where the scoring's coming from for the Tigers.
Yeah, multiple kids, and you just rattle off 3 of them. That can literally, they can all go get 25 a night.
Bam! Wow. Three-pointer. Jimmy mentioned they're only making, on average, 3 threes a game. Long pass on the money. Reynolds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, a left-handed pass from McGill across court.
Johnson looking for the assist. Can't get it. Morrow looking for the offensive rebound. Not too often that you're going to win a battle with Aneesah Morrow for a loose ball.
Just not getting enough looks, right?
Jersey Wolfenbarger is into the game for LSU, and they look to Kyle on the inside. Day Wilson running the point. Morrow passes up on the jumper. Can't get the runner, and Reynolds rips down the rebound. Reynolds wants to push Day Wilson back defensively. McGill will launch a 3. Second chance here. Dizeko with the rebound, and McGill finishes with that left hand.
Coach lived in AAU ball since about the 6th grade. And you look right back up, Florida on a huge run.
Johnson can't hit it. Florida wants to run. Dizeko, tough one, and the finish. 9-0 run for the Gators. Wolfenbarger to Flau'Jae. Back to Williams, 7 to shoot. Williams defended by McGill. Kelly Ray Finley down in the stands as well. And then another three. Well, that's their game average right there. 3 made 3. They're a +4 in rebounding margin against LSU, one of the top rebounding teams in the country. McGill up for 2 more.
How tough is this kid to cover? Hard to guard because you can go both directions equally with her paw and finish on either side of the rim. And an explosive first step with that basketball.
Speaking of explosive, that's Johnson getting to the basket. Morrow doing what she does best.
The fastest to the ball normally is the one that comes down with it.
Entry to Kyle. Kyle, great fight to get control and one. So Kyle trying to finish the three-point play. 70% free throw shooter.
You had the lead, the clock in your advantage, and a little bit of a rush off of a miss.
7 seconds with Gilbert. She has been money when the clock is winding down. Not this time. Batted around, and that's it.
What a great, not good, great bounce back by Florida. They were down 7-0 from that point on. They have been the best team in this building. And what I like about Florida is LSU, Eric, only has 2 offensive rebounds. Florida, #1 team in SEC play, only getting 74% on the defensive glass. As good as LSU is on the offensive glass, Florida just as good on the defensive glass.
Gators start the second quarter in zone here against LSU.
Yeah, it's a shrink the court, keep the ball out of the paint game for Florida. Live with that. Live with that jump shot. Don't worry about it. That's not what LSU primarily wants to do.
Johnson now with 7, averaging 20 a game, good for 4th in the conference. Saugus turned it over. That's the 5th turnover for the Gators. Johnson, tough shot. Challenged by Gassett. Johnson's got it back for 2 more.
She is a bucket getter, right?
25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in the Vandy win. She's gone for 20 or more in 14 of her last 22 games. Del Rosario with the rebound. Here's Gilbert.
Just erased it. Del Rosario did.
Gilbert, strong take, count it, and the foul.
Blocking a shot, and they get that thing up on the left side of the floor. And really good penetration by Gilbert. And Kim Mulkey says that's how we're supposed to play.
So they started the first quarter on a 7-0 run in 1 minute and 1 second. We are 1 minute and 11 seconds into the second quarter, and if Gilbert makes this, it's another 7-0 run to start the quarter.
Or does Kelly Ray Finley have to gamble a little bit and play the young freshman with 2 fouls?
What would you do?
I would not play her. The game, the score is going to dictate when you make that call. Just keep hammering it inside. You got other kids, Eric.
The feed by Layla Reynolds, who's averaging 10 points a game. Reynolds has looked comfortable in that position.
One of 3 McDonald's All-Americans for Florida.
Reynolds has it blocked by Del Rosario.
But again, they are dangerous enough to knock off a top 5 team on the home floor.
Morrow rips down the rebound. That's her 3rd board.
Do not get outside that 3-point line if you're Florida. Shrink the court and make them see multiple orange jerseys. Live with 3-point shots.
Gilbert can't hit the jumper.
Keeping the ball away from the rim, though.
Reynolds. Saugus thought she had it. Didn't go down. Reynolds continues to find on the glass, and here's Gilbert back the other way. And she'll reset here for the Tigers. Day Wilson. Seven to shoot. Here's O'Neal with 4. O'Neal finds the cutter. And a traveling violation, a turnover for Florida. No divided loyalties here today with your kids on the floor, right?
No,
just making sure.
Understanding angles, knowing where her team takes shots from and how the ball is most likely to come away.
Magnolia State showdown, Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Men's game was entertaining yesterday. We'd expect more of the same for the women coming up next on the SEC Network.
Well, that is a bitter rivalry within that state, no matter what the sport.
Here's Samaya Smith, right knee injury against Niagara in the Cayman Islands last November. So she's still working back.
Double-double when she got hurt with that ACL. And a freshman on that title team for Kim. A lot of hours in this LSU program.
There is Smith. That's what she does so well.
Just makes winning plays, makes others better.
It's her 27th block of the season. That's
Florida can't get offensive sensitive right now and let the lack of offense affect their defense. They've got to talk if they're going to play this zone. They have to gain rebound and limit LSU to 1.
Smith was fouled. Yes.
Kelly Ray coaches hard, and she was coached hard by her dad, right? High school, AAU. Her dad's in town for the weekend, lives in Minnesota, and they didn't love some of the body language, he said. A good post-up position again, just continue to hammer it inside.
Smith.
6 seconds on the shot clock. This needs to be a pretty quick hitter. I don't know if they realize it.
McGill trying to make something happen, and that's a mistake.
Confident in how competitive this year's team is.
Now, I did some research. Back when you were coaching Arkansas, you coached against Kim Mulkey one time. What do you remember about that one time?
How many career wins does she have, first of all? 700 and what?
The most important one was that one against you guys.
She comes out after the entrance, and I go down and shake her hand. I'll never forget it. She stopped me. She said, "Jimmy, what are you thinking, young man? You're too good on TV to be messing around with this. What are you thinking?" This is right before the game. I go back to my bench. I'm like,
you got teed up in an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah. Make the most of it while you're there, huh?
McGill with 2. McGill just has to hoist it. Caught the iron, and a rebound for Ernie Kindred, and a second chance here for Florida. I did check. The 3 officials are still working in that game, but they're not at this game.
This is not the 3 today?
No, this is not the 3 today. Florida needed that. They get the bucket to make it a 4-point game. That's going to be a foul called on Gassett.
I just have a ton of respect for Coach Mulkey, man. She cares about things she should care about, and she don't care about stuff that she should not care about.
Well, you talk about would mean she is 25 for 25 in 20-win seasons. She's never had less than 20 wins in a season in her coaching career.
And it's a player. She won 30-plus games all 4 years and 2 national titles. I mean, it's all she knows.
McGill draws it back off to Reynolds. Reynolds playing with a lot of confidence here today. Knocks it down. She's got 5.
Yeah, they got to have her. I mean, she's got to look for her shot more. You just can't have McGill scoring and Kyle on the inside.
Morrow, tough take for 2.
She gets work done over length, as well as I've seen in the women's game in a long time. I mean, she's listed 6'1". She's certainly not more than that. And length size does not bother her much.
That 3 is short. Mikaylah Williams with the rebound for LSU. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Tigers jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but Florida led by 6 at the end of the first quarter. But this second quarter has belonged to the Tigers.
She hit a growth spurt midway through her junior high years, and all of 6'6" right now.
Oh, look at Morrow grab that rebound with authority on the defensive glass and give it to Williams. Morrow.
Well, Florida is very physical with their box offs. I love it.
McGill pull up 3.
Where is your transition defense, LSU? You know McGill in transition's a threat to step into him.
And a foul underneath. Florida over the limit. The foul on Gassett, and Morrow to the free throw line. Aneesah Morrow, the SEC Player of the Week for a 3rd time this season after her performance last week.
And about 2 games this year already with 20 points, 20 rebounds. National Freshman of the Year. Single digits.
Tough pass. Kyle couldn't handle it, and here comes Gilbert on the push. Good defense.
The floor didn't leave early and just ate the ball up. Really well done.
Saugus played 8 minutes a game last year, 23 minutes a game this season, so much bigger role for the Gators. Flau'Jae on the pull-up.
That is beautiful, is it not? I mean, the pop and the high release, the explosiveness.
Morrow out on the freshman trying to get the steal. McGill to the basket.
Man,
playing with 2 fouls. Johnson, no, and that foul's going to be called on Morrow. Down to 10. Down to 7. Smith steps out defensively. Saugus, no. Johnson grabs it, heaves it from half court, and that will do it for the first half. As mentioned, McGill picking up those 2 fouls in the first quarter, and Kelly Rae Finley went to it in the second quarter. That paid off, kept Kim Mulkey's team from extending that lead too far. They're up by 4. It's Florida with the possession to start the third quarter. Warren for McGill. Hesitation, kick it outside. Deep 2 on the way is good from Alexia Dezeko.
What a great read by McGill. She comes off, understanding there's drop coverage, keeps her dribble alive, and finds the same side corner 3.
4th assist for Liv McGill to go with her 13 points. Turn it over twice in the first half. Morrow spinning for 2. 9 points for Morrow to go with 5 rebounds. Kyle. Split second too late to find Warren on the inside.
Yeah, the ones you have to make, though, in this league.
And Dave Wilson on the other end. McGill, once again, working with the Kyle screen. Up top for Kyle, and a turnover for Florida. Johnson can't get the 2. Samaya Smith kept it alive. Morrow comes away with it. Williams on the offensive glass. LSU. Reynolds on the drive. Smith came in looking for the block, and it was last touched by Kyle. Smith had 3 block shots in the first half. LSU -9 in margin in the first half. They are +16 on the season, which is good for second in Division I. Talk to players, talk to coaches. There's always teaching going on. 4th-ranked Alabama hosting Vandy at Coleman at 7 Eastern, and it's Mizzou and Texas in Austin to follow. Vandy coming off a big win over Tennessee in front of a full house at Memorial. First sellout in 6 years at Memorial.
Alabama goes to Rupp Arena for another monster win in the league yesterday on the men's side.
Tough take and a trip to the free throw line coming up.
But she and McGill, they just have a different level of work ethic.
After the first free throw, Natasha Kami, the official, just wanted to make sure Layla was okay.
Yeah, and she saw the rim okay?
Yeah. And Layla said, I'm good. I'm ready for a do-over, so she goes 1 for 2 from the line. One and done that trip for LSU. Reynolds, beautiful spin, and she'll go back to the free throw line from Brandywine, Maryland, back to the line. Layla was the only freshman on the roster last season.
She's one of those type players. If her first or second shot of the game goes in, she may go for 20.
Smith gets away from O'Neal. Tipped up and in. That's Miracle Shepard who puts it in for LSU, her first points.
Yeah, just 5'10" to get on that offensive glass.
Layla Reynolds, another aggressive take. This time it doesn't work out. Taken away by Dave Wilson in transition now for LSU. Mikaylah Williams sets for 3.
Yeah, they need a timeout. I was just going to say they probably need a timeout. And I don't know if Kelly Rae's going to take it or not. But she was so good in her timeout in the first quarter to send the message.
O'Neal tries the 3, can't get it. Shepard the rebound. LSU has pushed it up to an 11-point game. Kim Mulkey directing traffic now as her team tries to add to their largest lead of the night. O'Neal, good position to take it away from Smith. McGill throws it off the rim. Williams for 2. Outscored him by 10 in the second quarter. Another 3-point attempt, and LSU can taste it now. Shepard on the push. Shepard can't get the finish, but she was fouled.
They have not settled for threes in this game, although Florida Doing a good job of shrinking the court defensively, making a ton understanding of the game plan on the road.
Warren. Shepard, excellent defender, all over Warren. McGill gets it to go. First points of the second half for the freshman from Minneapolis. She's got 15 for the game. Morrow gets called.
They've allowed 87 and 77 in their last two outings.
Now, 87 to Tennessee keeps Tennessee under their season average.
It does. That's crazy, isn't it? Well, that's a team that they sub 5 at a time. They shoot a ton of threes. Coach Caldwell's got those gals in shape.
Jariah Warren.
The crowd in the game, in the building right now to keep game pressure on LSU.
And it's been a great crowd. Great turnout here today. A lot of LSU fans, but I see a lot of orange and blue as well in this building. There's Morrow leaning in for two.
So active. Just never takes any part of a possession off.
Back for McGill. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. McGill is fouled.
And just the 8th player in NCAA history with 2,500 points and 1,500 rebounds.
National Freshman of the Year. But she's up to 14.5 boards a game this year. Here's one. That leads the country. You wear the same outfit twice on back-to-back days.
Proof today, right now. You're right.
There's Williams exploding to the basket, and she'll go to the free throw line. And I think it's kind of helped form how she is as a coach, the head coach at the time. And Kim thought, oh no, she's coming to talk to me, and I'm going to get cut.
They had a tremendous relationship.
Certainly. 7 to shoot here for Florida. McGill from deep gets the roll. LSU on top by 11. Chance to bring it down to single digits. Here's Reynolds on the push. 4-2.
Beautiful sidestep by Williams to avoid the contact. I thought LSU shot that last one a little quick. Just one pass, a skip pass, and a jump shot.
Jada Richard getting some time at the point. Oh, Williams wide open again for three. And then there's a foul called on Ernie Kindred. She and Morrow.
The reasons right there for an intentional foul, contact fouls in the women's game. But go down to that fourth one, to me, excessive, hard, and or unnecessary contact is what the ruling was.
So Williams will go to the free throw line and take two. And, oh, my goodness, she had made 22 in a row. I did not say
no,
before,
it's not your fault. No.
Just so to be clear. Mikaylah Williams, she can't believe it.
I agree with you.
I'm Mikaylah Williams. I'm a 94% free throw shooter.
LSU radio's a little tight over here.
We didn't say anything.
No.
Yep. Aneesah Morrow. McGill holding with 6. Reynolds can't get it. And a rebound pulled down by Johnson. And Johnson lost the handle, and that will do it. Another good quarter for LSU. They outscored Florida 22-15 in the third. Kim Mulkey's team up by 11.
12 in purple, just affecting the game in every area. Already 7 rebounds, couple of assists, and multiple bucket getters on this LSU lineup.
She can do it. Went for 42 against Kent State, highest scoring game for a Tiger in 28 years. And there's been some Tigers who could score. One little side note for LSU, they have not committed a turnover in the second half. They only have 5 turnovers in the game, and they force another Florida turnover. Look at Morrow hitting the gas to the basket for 2.
LSU now just starting to get separation in this game. Florida most likely just not enough offense, Eric, to fight their way back in.
McGill tried to get it up to Kyle, could not, and numbers back the other way as Johnson pushes it, gets in front of McGill, and lays it in for 2.
6 of them are out of this league. Walk.
Yep, that's another turnover. We're hurt by that last time out against Ole Miss when they turned it over 29 times, resulting in 42 points for Ole Miss.
And Eric, where does that show up? I mean, LSU now has taken 13 more shots in the game.
Reynolds and Gassett gets called for the illegal screen.
Lift all the defense and get it to the hands of a strong physical game. 15th
ranked Georgia, that's at 6:30 Eastern, and number 1 Oklahoma taking on third-ranked Alabama. That's coming up Friday night here on the SEC Network. Williams with 20 for the 6th time this season and the 13th time in her career. She has it off the other turnover on the other end, and Day Wilson's got it, and LSU will slow things down. Although Flau'Jae doesn't waste much time, and she'll head to the free throw line.
That should give them confidence going into South Carolina Thursday night.
That foul on Gassett, Jimmy, that's her fifth for the Gators today.
Several years. You look at the top 25 right now. 10 of the teams in the top 25 are still 3 unbeatens, and 7 of them with just 1 loss. The depth in the women's game continues to get better and better as that talent gets spread out.
Johnson with the basket, and LSU will call the timeout. There's Morrow with the steal.
And Florida, they are too soft with the ball.
Back the other way, here's Williams.
And I'm not saying something about Kelly Ray's team that she's not going to say herself. Just too strong, or too weak with the ball. Passing, handling.
Here's Warren. That won't go. Del Rosario had the position. It was knocked out of bounds.
Shaq he got the same neck problem I do. I do that about 500 times a day trying to get my neck loose.
It just looks a little different
It does
when
look,
the Big Diesel does the Jimmy Dykes stretch.
His neck is twice my size.
You're moaning and groaning, and it sounds like you're shuffling a deck of cards when you move. I wonder what it sounds like for Shaq up there.
He's got all kinds of security around him up there in that corner.
As do you. I'm your muscle today. Morrow inside for 2.
She starts the game with 10 points and 5 rebounds. It's just a matter of how high that number is going to go.
You're just saying you spot her that.
Yeah,
it's just a question.
You just know going in, the opposing coach, okay, she already has that when the game starts. And what are we going to do to try to keep her somehow in check? And you can see the direction they're trying to go. Just, you can make improvement in this league.
Next up, they'll be at Auburn next Sunday, so they have a week of practice, which always helps. A jump ball
in the WNBA playoffs, and we spent about 7 days together because the series went back and forth. I think it's a best of 5. And some of my greatest memories with her, sitting at an early breakfast for about an hour and a half, just talking ball. Like, she would ask me my thoughts on things. I'm like, you're a Hall of Famer. You're asking me what I see.
So you're at breakfast, you look her in the eyes, and those the famous eyes, but it's like warm, and you're learning things, but
you're dealing with young ladies that they know what's coming up, LSU next. But to come in here on the road against a good, talented, just a young Florida team that makes too many mistakes to actually win a high-level game, but to have the focus, the discipline, to play well, to be pushing right at 80 points again, she'll be happy with her team's defense.
Saugus launches from deep for 3. Well, it's not like this was a 20-point game in the first quarter. It looked like it was heading that way when LSU jumped out to a 7-0 lead in the first 61 seconds. But Florida came back, led by 6, so LSU had to work. 41-24. McGill gets the steal, and she'll go in for 2.
But Florida is going to have another highlight package to watch tomorrow. And at some point, valuing the basketball has to be understood by this team in orange.
There's another turnover. There's Kyle turning inside in the final minute, and she'll go to the free throw line to try to finish off a 3-point play.
A big kid in the women's game. Sometimes they take even 16, 18 months to keep the hype alive for the game coming up Thursday. That's South Carolina as the LSU champ begins to take over. I'm correct, right? Kim Mulkey, every year as a head coach.
Baylor and now at LSU, but just remarkable consistency for the Hall of Famer.
They have their flaws, LSU does. Said, tell me about your team. She said, I got 4 or 5 ultra competitive kids. And I said, well, that's a great starting point for you, coach. And she does.
80-63 is the final. It's another 20-win season.